Hajganti. Today we come together to witness a significant milestone in our journey of restoring what was taken from us. The rightful restoration of Snuneymuxw First Nations villages and lands is a priority for our people and a priority from our Chief and Council, led by our Selk'nam elders that are present and also the ones that are not here, unfortunately, today. Respected guests, Selk'nam, it is a great privilege and honor to please call upon our Chief Mike Wyse, and Minister Rankin to share this rightful announcement. Hi, Sabka.
Siam na siya, siam na tzkwalmach, siam na Selk'nam, Tiyatala Heitzapka. Good morning, everybody, elders, dignitaries, esteemed guests. Minister Rankin, Sheila Malcolmson, Mayor Krogh. I welcome you all here to Snuneymuxw territory, to our Xum'silum village. Thank you all for taking time out of your day to be here and witness this day. Today marks another monumental day for Snuneymuxw First Nation and the province of British Columbia. We are gathered to acknowledge a significant step forward with returning our Snuneymuxw village back to our people. It is with deep gratitude that we announce the return of 2.67 hectares of the Xum'silum village site to Snuneymuxw. Over there are the parcels of fee simple land that are being returned back to our nation. The return of these 2.67 hectares of Xum'silum is also known as the Millstone River Village. This is the place where our Snuneymuxw people have lived for thousands of years as the first peoples of this land. Living for centuries before the arrival of the newcomers, here is the place where we had several longhouses, fisheries, medicines, and other cultural and spiritual practices of our people that are inherently connected to these lands. Our Snuneymuxw economic, cultural, social, and legal systems dominated this territory. And these are the systems that the settlers relied upon for survival and sustenance. Also, this is one of the many Snuneymuxw villages that used to help build coal mining in Nanaimo and generated tremendous wealth for the province. Along with this history came the forced removal of our Snuneymuxw people from this village. So today, it is the rightful reconnection and restoration of Snuneymuxw's presence on our Xum'silum village. This moment is grounded in the Sarlakan Snuneymuxw Treaty of 1854. A treaty protected under Section 35 of the Constitution Act. The treaty promises to preserve and protect Snuneymuxw villages and marine areas forever and always for our people. The treaty also requires the recognition of Snuneymuxw rights when it comes to proposed development on our sacred village lands. Anyone who tries to come into our village and propose significant development must recognize Snuneymuxw people, our rights and way of life. Our nation will not support proponents who seek to deny the existence of our Snuneymuxw people, destroy our villages, and think they can do whatever they want without the voice of Snuneymuxw at the table. Today commemorates a moment in our history when the province of BC and Snuneymuxw First Nation stand together in solidarity. The proponents and the municipality must recognize Snuneymuxw First Nation and acknowledge our deep spiritual and cultural connections to these lands. Minister Rankin, thank you for your remarkable leadership to make it clear that the province is steadfast and true and real reconciliation with our Snuneymuxw people. The rightful return of this land will positively impact our Snuneymuxw citizens, residents of Nanaimo, this region as a whole, and all who visit the downtown area. By returning this land to Snuneymuxw, we are not only honoring treaty commitments, but also supporting the shared economic goals and aspirations that our nation has with your government. Our collaboration with the province on this joint purchase of the 2.67 hectares exemplifies a genuine partnership dedicated to correcting historical injustices. Minister Rankin, please extend my thanks to Premier Eby for his extraordinary leadership and bold decision-making of his colleagues. Thank you, Sheila, for your decades of support for the Snuneymuxw people. We will continue to do great things together. I also want to extend my gratitude to the City of Nanaimo for your ongoing support, Mayor Krogh, and the recognition of our relationship that we have built with you. We are now poised to breathe new life into our Xum'silum village. We will bring it back to life and restore it to a condition where communities will thrive and our Snuneymuxw people will have a fundamental connection to the village. I stand before you today with immense gratitude for our ancestors who guided us towards this moment. As we begin to reclaim Xum'silum village, we will do so with extreme care, respect, and a vision that has guided us for generations. In closing, I want to acknowledge the patience and resilience of my Snuneymuxw people who have long awaited the return of this land to us. Today we take a historic step forward, united in our purpose and our dedication to honoring the past while building prosperity for generations to come. On behalf of Council, once again, I extend my hands to each and every one of you for witnessing this day. This historic day of our lands coming back to once again acknowledge the spirit of our Snuneymuxw people who once lived here. So I really want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. On behalf of Council, Heights Up, VITV.ca, Heights Up.
Thank you, Chief. Hello, everyone, and I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to Elder Lally for starting us off in that way, and to say thank you to all of the dignitaries, all of the elders, all of the former chiefs, people of Nanaimo, Snuneymuxw, and otherwise. It's just a pleasure to be here today. The Chief has done such a great job of setting out why we're here. Maybe I can elaborate just a little bit. But let me just say how grateful I am to be here in Snuneymuxw territory, and particularly on the site of this Xum'silum village, this ancient village site so nearby. Thank you, Chief Wyse. Thank you so much for your leadership and your partnership. Thank you to, I was going to say my old friend, but I meant to correct that and say my long-standing friend, MLA Sheila Malcolmson. And thank you all for being here. Let me start by saying thank you to Mayor Krogh as well for his leadership and for being part of this, as I'll describe, with his unique statutory responsibilities for the city of Nanaimo. Premier Eby was unable to be here. Some of you know he's at a Premier's meeting in Nova Scotia today. But I'm so pleased that someone from the Premier's office, a former chief of the Snuneymuxw, my friend Doug White, is bearing witness and representing that office today. Thank you, Doug, for being here. I did the arithmetic. It's 170 years this year since the Douglas Treaty of 1854. That treaty promised a number of things that haven't always been honored. And it is our government's intention to do our part to rectify some of the injustices arising out of that breach. Snuneymuxw First Nation members have been waiting an awfully long time for this day to happen. And I want to confirm today what the Chief has said, namely that through our collaborative approach, the Snuneymuxw and the province have been able to acquire a suite of parcels of land in downtown Nanaimo that sets the stage for reuniting the Snuneymuxw with their historic village of Xum'silum. That is the start of what we are doing. The province has been happily able to contribute nearly $26 million to that venture. And as the Chief said so well, today is historic. It's an historic transition, not only for the Snuneymuxw people, but for the city of Nanaimo. Since time immemorial, the Snuneymuxw have been stewards of this land. And the joint acquisition of the parcels represents a huge step forward together with this community for the determination of the role of those lands in years to come. So I therefore want to acknowledge Mayor Krogh and the city of Nanaimo for their ongoing support as our governments work together to advance reconciliation with the Snuneymuxw. We respect the distinct statutory role that the city of Nanaimo will play. But through our work together, we are breathing life into that 170-year-old Douglas Treaty that I spoke of. That was intended to foster economic prosperity. It didn't do that. It was intended to protect the village site. It didn't do that. We are working together to restore that treaty because providing a unique opportunity for the future land transfer of this historic site is an important part of that journey together. You can't but come here, I'm not from Nanaimo, and recognize the absolutely enormous potential of those lands for this dynamic city. It's just astounding. It's clearly important to the downtown core, just as it's so centrally important for the spiritual and cultural reasons the Chief spoke of to the Snuneymuxw people. So I'm thrilled on behalf of our government to be taking this step together at this time. It's going to take time, and it's going to take effort, and it's going to take passion to get to where we want to go together. Let me just say a little bit of history. The province is proud to partner with Snuneymuxw in ensuring that this site is secure and safe while we advance the remediation of the site. It's going to need some work. It's going to need to be fenced off. It's going to need to protect it. It's going to need to be demolished. It's going to need to be remediated perhaps as well. And the province is contributing $1 million to that effort to get that ball rolling. That's a part of the collaboration I spoke of. So the transfer will take place as we work in collaboration with the Snuneymuxw First Nation to revitalize the village site, as I say, get it ready, and then seek the kind of change that we want to work on collaboratively together. This property will be, the future of that property will be, of course, determined by its rightful owners, the Snuneymuxw First Nation. How did we get here? Well, in 2020, some of you we remember, we entered into what we called the Reconciliation Implementation Framework Agreement, quite a mouthful. And some of that has been our framework. That has been guiding our partnership together. Some of you will remember, for example, that that framework paved the way for the return of lands on Mount Benson to the Snuneymuxw First Nation. That was part of this work together. These steps, I think, show that we are trying to advance reconciliation in a good way with the Snuneymuxw, a way that not only advances self-determination, but positively impacts everyone who lives in this region. In closing, I want to quote what Premier Eby has so frequently said. He said, you know, economic reconciliation with First Nations lifts all boats. And I believe this is a great example of lifting all boats. I look forward to seeing this beautiful area transformed and revitalized, and for the betterment of this remarkable and dynamic community of Nanaimo. Thank you so much.